دكتور عم.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. شكرا دكتور شربيني، دكتور القاضي، دكتورة شيماء ودكتور كريم for the kind invitation. طبعا it's a great honor to be with you in this eminent session at the end of the day. My task in 5 minutes is to talk about the introduction of the third space endoscopy. In the past 70 years, rapid advancement in endoscopy has crucial impact on the management of gastrointestinal diseases. Traditionally, endoscopic interventions have been confined to within the lumen, which is known to endoscopists as the first space endoscopy. Any intervention within the lumen is considered as first space endoscopy. From first polypectomy for treatment of colorectal polyp in 1969 by Shinya, endoluminal interventions have been tremendous progress with more progressive techniques for endoscopic resection like endoscopic mucosa resection or endoscopic submucosal dissection. Then, usually using full visionary imagination, pioneer endoscopists aim to perform no-scar flexible endoscopic surgery within the peritoneal space, which is the second space endoscopy. The NOTES, which is abbreviation for the natural orifice transluminal endoscopic surgery, began in 2004 with the idea of transgastric proteinioscope or transrectal or transvaginal in order to do some surgical resection or interventions. Nevertheless, endoscopic exploration into the peritoneal space, the second space endoscopy, has paved way to the development of important technical advances in the field. Submucosal tunneling was first described in animal model by Shimiyama et al. In 2007. Submucosal endoscopy with mucosal flap safety valve technique opened a novel submucosal world for the endoscopic interventions. This is the photo of Al-Ainy. The first endoscopist in the world had performed the first human poem for management of achalasia, unleashing a decade of innovation and research in submucosal endoscopy, the third space endoscopy, or in other means, sometimes it's called intramural endoscopy. The endoscopic resection techniques are multiples. Of course, started from the conventional endoscopic mucosa resection. For the third space endoscopy, the most known of it, the ESD or endoscopic submucosal dissection, compared to the EMR, ESD can not only provide complete specimen for more reliable pathological examination, but it can also be used to fully resect the tumor with a low rate of recurrence. The types of third space endoscopic techniques, they are several with several indications. As we know, basically the ESD is one of them, to resect any mucosal lesion with clean margin without or decrease the incidence of mucosal recurrence. Submucosal tunnel endoscopic resection, or the STIR technique for submucosal lesions. And endoscopic full thickness resection is done for deeper lesions involving the serosa or invading the muscular area. The poem for the other spastic esophageal mortality take over nowadays. Z-poem and D-poem for esophageal divertical diseases. G-poem for gastroparesis, and in Hirschsprung disease, third space endoscopy in lower GIT tract. Of course, there is some assisted technique with surgery for full thickness resection with the combined endoscopic and laparoscopic surgery. As we see here in this cartoon, the endoscope could do the endoscope evaluation of the lesion from the lumen And the laparoscopy, assisted laparoscopic surgery, could help for localized complete resection in combination with the endoscopic techniques. The technique we select in the third space endoscopy depend where is the site of the lesion, whether it's superficial or submucosal, close to the muscularis propria layer, or including it, or involving the deep layer. We could select the proper endoscopic technique for the management. Of course, we have to get some tools to achieve your goal in interventions. Good bowel preparation is important. CO2 insufflator, short hood cap to assess retraction tamponade and apply clips after interventions. Avoid looping for the scopes is very important. High definition scopes are very crucial in these techniques. And it also helps to assess the lesion age and the lesion surface before the resection. Finally, the endosonography, you might have a gray rule to assess the depth of invasion of some lesions in the mucosal lesion, or in submucosal lesions, how could differentiate which origin it come from through the thickness of the GIT. And thank you.